Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. You join us once more in the map editor where we are creating this island very loosely based on Jurassic Park. So we have some things kind of unique to the island. We have some buildings made up of boat superstructures. We have an aerial walkway made up of, well, aerial walkway bits. We have woods, we have the forests, we have the underground labs, which you can't get into, but it's nice to have them there. Yeah, you can't really, there's no way to get through the island mesh, is what I'm saying. But we do have paddocks where dinosaurs may once have been kept. We have a very delightful jetty with a wreck. Ooh, enticing, saying that there may have been people here or at some point in the past. We have, another building. We have no control over the speed of the camera. We have little jumping puzzles, which, once we put sharks into the map, maybe quite costly if you beans the puzzle, which is fairly straightforward. Jump. We have little secrets. We have steps. We have a lot of steps and stairs as far as the eye can see. We have verticality, which we have built into the map. Are we going to shoot off towards the edge? Oh, we're not even going to carry on that way. Verticality on 3 levels, on the beach level, on the top of the hills, and the walkway level, which is kind of unique for a lot of maps in Stranded Deep. I've got to say, we have more steps. We have even more steps. We have, we find another walkway. Yeah, we got another walkway. Even more steps. And if we look on the other side of the hill, I mean, like, literally, steps for days. Stairs going into the hills, into the mountains, into the world. And I'm saying all this just to refresh it in my mind as well as everybody else's mind. We have a little cave, we have boats, we have trees, we have everything here that makes up an island, and she is a big island. If we go up and away, that's a big island with tiny little offshore islands as well. It's looking real nice, real nice. So if you're joining us for the first time, we are controlling ourselves in the map editor by using W, S, A, and D. We're using Q to go down, E to go up. We're holding the right mouse button to pan the camera, and that's fun. That's amazing. We can, if we click on terrain, we've got the brush tools, we've got the objects and the objects bins. We can, if we press something, if we bring up an object. So R to rotate, T to transform, and if we press C, we clone that object. If we press F, you draw focus to the object, and we are going to delete that because we don't need the duplicate of that particular object. Nice. I think that's everything covered. So last time we were over here, and the sun is going to disappear. Just as we come to the thing that we were desperately... No, the sun's back out again. So there are a few things we don't have control over. The level of the sun and the speed of the camera. Oh, let me show you that. That's always a fun thing to do. So we're going fast, we're going fast, we're going fast, we're going fast, we're going fast. We've basically stopped. And we have to, yep. And then if we just keep holding S, eventually we'll free ourselves from object bounds and then shoot off towards the side of the map. Sometimes you just scoot off there anyway. It's really strange. There is no constant velocity on the camera. So last time, actually time before last, we were re-engineering this beach. We were creating these sideways groins, and then we re-engineered this section here, which was a little bit too garden center. And what we've done is we've taken some stuff out. We've added this walkway in with the last piece of walkway that we can add before we hit the item limit. We added some rocks. We added some bits of rock to make it look like there'd been a collapse of sorts, and we added these trees to give it a nice leafy feel along the walkway. That's really nice. That's really good, and I'm glad we came back. I mean, I'm glad we redid all that. And coming back to it a couple of days later, I'm actually really happy with what we've done there. So this whole beach was feeling a little bit cold, a little bit abandoned, and now it's feeling like a feature. It's feeling like a good part of the island. If you're landing here on your raft for the first time and this is the first thing you see, I am not disappointed with this entire area. I'm so happy with it. So sometimes it's worth coming back and worth re-engineering something, just rejigging something. Now, there are a few things that we still need to do. And the reason that we are in the map editor and not playing in the main game is because there hasn't been an update in a while. And it means that we can just take our time on this map. We can go away from it. We can leave it for days. We can leave it working in the back of our mind. And we can come back and say, you know what? That thing I did wasn't good. Or, you know what? That thing I did was really good. Let's see if we can repeat it elsewhere. So, we started here. This is one of the first things we built. This kind of tunnel thing. It is very, very, very close to the abyss, the very edge of what we can build on this map. I'm not unhappy with what we've got here. I think I'm going to leave it. That's fine. This beach with the little broken beach, the little island. It's a tiny island, and then boom, water, and then the abyss once more. Again, absolutely fine, because over here, if you're walking along the beach, things start to get different. The beach narrows up considerably, but it doesn't feel unnatural. And I think that's a good thing. This bit here, we might need to re-engineer this now that we've added groins elsewhere, but I'm not sure. I'll keep that in the back of my mind and let my subconscious work on it, because that is how you do things. That's how this came about. And Hill 2 got completely redecorated. Now that you will need to go back into the main game to have a look at things, because this looks completely barren and empty, but once you're in the main game, it kind of feels okay. It feels not bad. There are a few areas that we need to probably still focus on. The Delta area kind of feels a bit, I don't know, kind of still feels a little bit empty. We've got all this stuff here. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether I want to do too much more to it, or whether we should leave it open and a little bit watery, or, I mean, it just feels like an area where people are going to run through and not really spend much time. That's kind of the danger, but I'm not entirely sure. And this area here kind of feels like, when we were putting it in, I said, it does feel a little bit garden centre. So the pathway comes through here, but this area here is like, well, we got some rocks, we got some trees and stuff. Is there anything we can do to this to make it feel a little, whoop, camera's stuck on a tree, a little less garden centre and a little more natural? I think there is. I think we can do something here that can alleviate both problems. Both problems of this area kind of feeling a little too open. Because ideally what we want is the player not to be able to see too far into the distance. I want it to be difficult to see things. So the hills obstruct your vision from one side of the map to the other. And that's a good thing, because it makes the map feel bigger. And it also means that you have to go and explore. You can't just sit here and say, I wonder what's over there. Oh, I can see, because I can see just in a straight line. I can see that horizon, and I can see that horizon, and I can see that horizon, and I can see that. There's no point in exploring. If I'm standing here and I'm going like, oh, what's over there? What's that thing? Or what's up there? You have to go and explore it. So it gives players things to do once they're on the island. And by obfuscating things, it kind of, well, it means they're going to go and explore. But yeah, this feels a bit too garden centre. So we took this rock and we kind of dumped it in here. This is a cliff piece. We can move this cliff piece. This is not its final location. We can move it out here. Because this valley, it's great, but it kind of narrows the valley here into a choke point. Now we can move this out. Oh, we're in the island terrain. I'm going to be a little bit, I'm going to be honest with you. This mouse that I'm using, I was using a Logitech G403, and the interpreter on it beansed up, so the mouse wheel's a little bit beansed. It's dodgy. It keeps scrolling up and down at the same time. It's really frustrating. So I've got a Zalman, I don't even know what this is. ZM-GM4? I think it's a Knossos. Either way, it's a very different mouse that I've literally just plugged in and I'm still getting used to. So, yeah, it feels Strange. There's a button on it, and if I pull it, it opens Firefox. I think I might need to install some software to change that, because I do not want to be in a video game, pull that button, and then bam, Firefox is there, and suddenly bad things have happened. Yeah, so what I'm thinking here is we've got this hilltop. People are going to be building on this hilltop. People are going to be building up here. That's why we haven't gone too far. I mean, it looks like we've kind of encroached a lot with the stairs, with the walkways and stuff. I'm going to be honest. This area up here is a freaking huge. We can get an entire boat up here. I mean, we're using boats for scale. You can probably build so much you would run out of resources. So yeah, I'm not unhappy with the amount of area that people have. However, we've got a kind of a verticality thing going on. We've run out of metal walkways that we can use, because not only will we use them to create raised areas in the map, but we've also used them to create paddocks. Oh, and again, these things are huge. These things are massive, taller than the player. They don't look very big, but they are massive and kind of add to the Jurassic Park feel of the place. Good, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the rocks. Rocks. The click on this mouse just feels weird. After using Logitech for so many years, it just kind of feels... I'll get used to it. It'll be fine. We'll do it live. So we're using the rotate. So I'm just going between T and R to change the rotation. We're clicking on these toggles, and that's fine. Rudder rotate. Basically what you do is you press either T or R, and then you left click on these toggles, and it'll either rotate around its central axis, or if you press T, you'll sort of make it go up, down, forward, back, and left, right. Not in that order. Good. Well, this is good. This is good. This is also very high. I mean, you can't really get that when you're in... One of the things you don't get in the map editor is sort of a sense of scale. Very difficult to have a sense of scale. Sea clones. What we can do, in fact, if we want a sense of scale, is hit structures. Find the door. Boom. The door is the size of a player. Oop, hit Q. Oh, now we can see how... Because a player has to be able to go through a door, right? Oh, wow. Suddenly it's like, well, that's huge. What are you doing? Ugh, ruined. #ruined. Okay, right, well, yeah, good. We're not going to allow ourselves to ruin it. Rue the day that we met ourselves coming the other way. We also have to be careful. Every time we let go, we've got to make sure that we are actually selecting something that we have selected before. That didn't make any sense. So sometimes you have an object selected, you move it, when you let go, it might snap to an object in the distance. If you see it snap to an object in the distance, tap F and you'll go into focus mode. And if it's a big object like this bad boy, the camera's going to go out quite far, but you can hold W and zoom in on it. Yeah, it's a bug. It's not a good bug. It's kind of a bad bug, an annoying bug. Can be kind of devastating because there's no undo, so there's no control Z. So I'm just adding a cliff piece. Let's get this out of the way. It's good for scale, but you know. So what we're doing is big rock. Big rock. That's big rock. Is that big rock 1 or is that big rock 2? You see, this is the problem with the new mouse. And it's got an awful lot of weight. I put all the weights in it. I was like, I am strong man, strong boy man, big wrist, good strong wrist. And I'm like, yeah, good. All the weights, please. But I bet if I swing this around, I could use it as a bolus. It's yeah, she's not bad mouse, just not a Logitech. I think it's the thing. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get used to it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll play some Rainbow Six later and... Well, we'll just see what happens. Maybe get completely annihilated and then I'll be like, oh, I'm sad now. Sad panda. So what we're doing is we're just arranging these rocks in a way that rocks might form in the real world. Oh, actually, let's get rid of that one. Goodbye. Goodbye. You were the weakest link. Is that show still on? I don't know. Here's a revelation for you if you didn't already know. I don't own a television. Haven't had a television in years. And you know what? I don't feel bad for it. Because I got rid of it. I got rid of it because I was just like, you know what I don't need? I don't need people advertising stuff to me. Advertising, yeah, it's just super annoying. I'm like, I don't need that in my life. I'll get rid of it. So I did. And then I didn't replace it. And in the UK, you have to pay for a TV license as well. They go, oh, you paid for your TV license? And I'm like, oh no, I don't need to spend £1 million a year on a TV license in order for people to sell me stuff. I don't need it. So yeah, once you got Netflix, once you got Amazon Prime, once you've got YouTube, I honestly don't think you don't need a TV these days. I think it's the realm. I think it's on olden times, the realm of a different world. Wow, thinking about it, like programmed television just didn't last that long. Now it's all on demand. Why would you? Don't know. Just have a projector and a laptop. That's all you need. So what we're doing is we're just arranging rocks, and rocks touch other rocks. You don't actually need like something like firmly embedded in each other. You can actually just have these things touching very gingerly, very lightly. Because if you look in the real world, if you spend any time at the coast, any rock formations you might see will have rocks kind of balanced on other rocks, and they look like they're going to fall, but there's so much weight and so much mass in them that they never do. They never do. So that's a fun little thing. We're just adding some more verticality to the map. And that's basically what we're doing. So just adding a little rock arch, because I just didn't like the way this was. And now the camera's stuck in a tree. I wish the camera would stop being stuck in a tree. It's like, oh, you know what I want? I just really want to get stuck in a tree. Yeah, please stop getting stuck in trees. Oh, please. So we're going to add some rocks into the ground. No, we're not. We're going to mug that off. Goodbye. We'll add the decoration later. We'll do that later. What we could do with this is we'll bring this down. It's interesting as we move it up and down. The geometry changes. That's only because the distance between us and the camera is it and the camera. Why would we change? We are the camera. The distance between it and the camera changes, and that's level of detail. So close up, high detail rock. Further away, lower polygon rock. Yeah, it's just a way of saving memory, saving processing time within your graphics cards. Time allocation, I guess. Don't know. It can only process so much at any given moment. We'll click on this tree. We'll move the tree. Let's move you. We're going to make this area way more detailed by adding stuff. So yeah, going back and changing things is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign of somebody who says, you know what? I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with the way it is. And my subconscious has been working on this for a while, and now it's revealed to me a whole new world. And now I will break out into song. No, I will not break out into song, but you know how that particular song goes if you're a fan of Disney, which is, well, it's the French Disney, I guess. Good. I don't even know anymore. No, A Whole New World. Was that from... That was Aladdin. It was Aladdin. I'm sure it was Aladdin. Was it A Brave New World? Oh no! I'm getting my Disney songs all mixed up in my own mind. Well, I'm sure nothing of value was lost. That is a very big rock. That's too big. I think it's a good effort. What we need, so what we're looking for are long, thin rocks with a flat side that the player can walk along comfortably. That's literally all it is. So we are just trying things out at this stage. Because we don't have any of the easy stuff to use. We can't just throw walkways in like this with cheeky and reckless abandon. Which is apparently a word that people from North America don't use that often. So cheeky is if you're going out for a cheeky burger, it means you're going out for a burger knowing that it's not necessarily good for you, but no one's going to stop you because you're an adult and you're in charge of your own life. So yeah, I don't know what the alternative North American saying would be. I'm going out for I don't know. I think because so many people in North America eat out all the time, like as a pastime, then it's not really any different to any other day? Question mark? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. So yeah, look. And we're just throwing this in. We got to do something with this. It's too. There we go. We throw this bad boy in here. Yeah, I like the idea of it being broken. Oh yes. What? Why would you like the idea of it being broken? Because, dear listener, dear reader, dear viewer, I don't even know anymore. Because even just hopping a very easily hoppable gap fills you with a sense of pride and accomplishment. No, you can get the same effect as this bridge without it actually being a bridge. So you can quite easily hop from one side to another, and it doesn't have the same silhouette as this over here. So it's the same thing, and it should be fairly easy hoppable. And we can check that by getting the door. Boom, door. Yeah, so it's, again, dangerous, but possible. Yeah, you can definitely hop across there. You have to watch out. There is a function. Let's get rid of the door. There is a function, and it happens a lot in first-person video games, where if you're going down a slope and you try and jump, quite often you won't be able to jump. Or you'll jump, but you won't jump very high. And it's just like positioning of the player avatar, so you've got to be a little bit careful about stuff like that. So cool, we have now added another little rocky thing to the world. We can now add, let's do this. Let's make a kind of an easy way up for people. Do it. Do it. Do it. Right. There we go. Simple? Question mark? Yeah, simple enough. Adds different texture, and it's not like immediately obvious, but it's definitely there. Good. Excellent. And I don't think we've encroached too much on hilltop. No, I mean that is the very steep side. We've still got a lot of space up the top. I mean, look, so much of it. I just can't leave it like it was. It just doesn't feel right, or didn't feel right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, we can throw some trees and stuff over that. I think what we can now do is work our way back to... No, we want smaller one. I mean, do we really want to telegraph that it's here? Maybe. Let's try it. And we can always try it, and if it doesn't work, we can always erase it. Because we are the masters of our own destiny, and that's something that we should be happy about. No, it's fine. I've been awake since 5 o'clock, and now it's 5:30. No, it's nearly 6 o'clock in the evening. So I've been awake since 5 o'clock in the morning, and my brain it's got the texture of like scrambled eggs, I guess. Scrambled eggs, butter, other dairy and poultry products are available. But yeah, it's tell you what, you do not be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning for very long. So we got some steppy boys. Now I might drop that one down a little bit more. I like the look. It's definitely got that look. There you go. And once you're up at the top, it's fine. All right, cool. And one thing we did do last time is grab small rock 3, jam it on the side. Boop, boop. T. There we go. Slow rotate. And we're just gonna. T. I'm looking around my microphone. And I'm like, keep looking around it just to see what's going on. T. It just makes it very difficult to see the keyboard because I can't see where my fingers are. I'm having a hard time fingering my keyboard. What a world we live in. There we go. Kind of what? Is that what we wanted? Kind of works. Kind of works. I think I prefer it a little bit down. We have literally no control over the level of the sunlight. Yeah, that feels better. We could throw in a cheeky plant. Trees? No. Plants. Oh, it is trees, isn't it? I'm looking at trees and thinking, no, we don't want a tree. We want a shrub. We want some item that we can put here that shows the way. And I'm like, oh wait, no, it is in the trees bin. Little cheeky nana. Little cheeky nana. Good. I just want a little bit greenery, you know? There we go. There we go. Is that right? Does that look right? Does that look right to anyone else? We'll just bring that up. Because we've used nanas to separate before. Let's go over here. What did we use last time? Oh, we used one of these. What are you? I don't know. Okay, whatever. Whatever. We'll go click on terrain and objects because we got an object selected. I don't want to move it. I don't want to skip it off across the sea. I don't want it to vanish or vamoose. It's one of these boys, isn't it? It is one of these boys. Okay, you, banana, go back from whence you came. Oh, banana, you have served us valiantly in the past, but now we must bid you adieu. Goodbye. No, that worked. It works. The leaves are kind of clipped into the ground, but that's by design. I just wanted a little bit of greenery just to separate the steps, and I didn't want to just throw a bunch of more rocks in there. Good. Excellent. Oh, look at what we have. What have we wrought? Well, it's a little less garden center and a little bit more jumping puzzle. You can now get up from here. Up. Is it strictly necessary? No. 0% necessary. Is it fun? Yeah. Look at that. I mean, look at it. Look at it. It's another way up. Yeah, you have other ways up, and it just means because players and people in real life, you don't sit on the bottom of a double-decker bus. You sit at the top, at the front if you can. You don't just walk down a hill. You walk down a hill along a raised path. If you can. The other one goes from hill to hill, but this one actually drops you right into the center of the island. Oh, yes. That's actually a lot better. So yeah, I was thinking about this and I was like, yeah, we have a ton of stuff. Oh, that feels more interesting, visually stimulating, visually interesting because, yeah, no, that works a lot better. You got the verticality. Yeah, that feels like it's part created, part should just be there. Feels a bit more Jurassic Park. Oh, brilliant. They just said the name of the map. Good. Right, okay, so we haven't done a foliage pass yet. We've been placing stuff down, but these have all been placed things. We haven't gone around the outside of the island and placed a bunch of like palm trees properly. Or just foliage and nooks and crannies and rando areas. Probably should do that at some point. So we've got the palms, ficus tree 2. Wow, this island is complicated. It is human. No, it's not, but it is very complicated into just terms of stuff, what we have done. These ficus trees, we have not utilized them as much as we could have. I think we should utilize them more. And that is what we shall do. This area can be deciduous. Yeah, I want the little rotate, and I want to just rotate you over. There you go. Ah, suddenly I see. Yeah, look at that. We've got the greenery, still got the verticality, but now you've got the top of the tree. Ah, it's so beautiful. Yep, no, that feels better. Bear in mind this brown will be covered in greeny, browny scrub. So, yeah, it's not bad at all. We've got a regular ass ficus there. Not to be confused with the. I'm just thinking of other ass ficus things to say. Let's just move this. This is one of the casualties of the moving stuff around. I don't think it's a casualty as such. No, it's not. So there was like a little pathway that ran behind the rock that was there. Now you can actually go under something. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better, infinitely better, I think. Let's grab another ficus boy. Can I not select that? What have I selected? I want that. Okay, cool. You've always got to keep an eye on whatever you've selected. And the trees you can jam fairly far down into the ground to give you a different perspective on things. Different heights on trees, even though they're the same model and all that sort of lovely stuff. To rotate, because it will follow the mesh initially. So it'll follow the mesh or whatever you happen to have in the world. We go and press T, drag that down into the ground to create a sort of a tree arch, if you will. Oh yeah, no, that is so much better. Let's just have a look up here. Oh yes, look, it looks infinitely more natural. And the walkway. Boop, 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 boop. Yep, no, I'm liking this. Definitely liking this. Definitely liking this. Almost as much as when I looked out of the window earlier and saw the next door neighbour's van parked there with a giant dick drawn on the side of it in the dust. I was like, I wonder if they've noticed. Yeah, it's the puerile things that just kind of tickle our sense of humour. People say the British don't have a sense of humour. We have a sense of humour. Definitely have a sense of humour. And it is gross. Sorry. To disappoint. We're going to get a bush under here. We're just going to do two things. It's going to hide the fact that there is a huge ass gap there. I think I might just toss another rock under there just to be safe. Because it kind of looks... Let's go to rocks. Yeah, click on terrain and objects just to deselect that. It just kind of looks like it's almost like floating. So we'll do something we've done before. Throw another rock in, throw it at an angle. There we go. There we go. There we go. T, right down, right in. Just to give it a little bit more depth. It's better. Yeah, it's subtle. That little addition of a rock is super subtle. Like, if you said, oh, what's the difference between this and with and without? I mean, if we go T and just drag it down out of the way. Without, with. Without, with. With, it looks like it's a structure coming out of the ground. It's hard to see because of all the foliage that we've placed to obscure the fact that there's a bunch of rocks here. Without, it just looks like a rock that's kind of sticking awkwardly out the side of a hill. So the difference between having mass and weight in the world and just kind of being placed is very important. Now, one thing I did see because I was looking over the top, is this bit here. There's shadow on this top step. We're gonna need to add another one, I think. I don't want to, we're going to have to. I think we could be very careful about, because again, I don't want to encroach so much on the top. So let's just move this here. Oh, that's better. So kind of without big gap, with smooth rock. Okay, cool. And the little gutter on the side of these rocks, 1, 2, 3, that kind of looks like a little rain gutter. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Then just tweak it a little bit. There we go. I think that's how it was. And notice that just snapped to a different step. As soon as we let go, we made a little adjustment and then boom, it snaps. So terrain objects, and we don't accidentally move anything that we didn't mean to move. Okay, so in one direction, with the sun at a particular point in the sky, which is midday. We've been creating this map essentially at midday all the time. We've got, we've got this rock here, which creates a little jumping puzzle, kind of indicated by the fact that there's now foliage there. So as you're coming down from the top, you will be required to jump a little bit over the top, knowing that you fail, you fall, and you probably break your ankles. And then another little jumpy boy here, probably denoted by the fact that there is a bloody great big gap, also a bit of shadow. Nice. The forest has now moved out a little bit, so the forest is now bigger than it was. That now obscures everything over there when you're on the walkway, and when you're down here, it still obscures a bunch of stuff, which is what we wanted it to do. And yes, oh, that feels so much better. A lot less garden center and a lot more stuff. Stuff is not a descriptive word, but it feels better than just having something that didn't do anything. Now there's now another way up. So that's low poly, high poly. And in game, you won't notice the LOD so much. So I think it's kind of level of detail on objects is very aggressive in the map editor, probably because you can see so much more than you would normally be able to actually in the game itself. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with what we've done here today. So I'm going to save at this point. If you are following along at home, if you're liking this, definitely consider leaving a little like, leave a little subscribe. And if you do subscribe, click the little bell, because that would give you notifications when videos go live. You know what? I'll catch you next time.